There are days that seem ordinary, and yet something deep within you stirs, as if the universe whispers, "Pay attention." October 19th is one of those days. Not because of luck or coincidence, but because certain energies gather when awareness meets readiness. In ancient Shaolin teachings, we say that time is a mirror, not a master. It does not decide your fate. It reflects your state. When your mind is restless, even the brightest sign goes unnoticed. But when your heart is still, even the smallest symbol becomes a message. Across many traditions, this state has appeared in quiet ways. Moments of insight, endings that became beginnings, souls meeting by chance that felt predestined. Historians rarely speak of energy shifts, yet those who live in deep awareness feel them, just as a monk feels the wind before the storm. Tonight we explore the hidden meaning behind October 19th. Why do some experience divine signs on this day, numbers repeating, dreams turning vivid, sudden peace washing over them? What awakens within you when such patterns appear? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you will understand why certain days call to the soul and how to align your energy with them. You will learn how Shaolin stillness transforms a simple date into a doorway, a chance to see what your spirit is ready to receive. If you've been sensing that something is shifting around you, this message will bring clarity. I welcome you to Shaolin Soulfire, a space for truth, balance, and awakening through ancient wisdom. If these teachings speak to your spirit, support this journey, subscribe, stay present, and let's walk together through the mystery that October 19th reveals. There is a quiet truth that most seekers overlook. The one you call your soulmate is not sent to complete you, but to awaken you. In the Shaolin way, we are taught that relationships are mirrors, not escapes. When a disciple once asked the master how to find the perfect partner, the master smiled and said, "Find the one who reflects your discipline, not your desire." That answer confused the disciple as it confuses many hearts today. We search for someone to heal our emptiness, but the soul does not seek healing through another. It seeks recognition of its own fullness. Every connection is a lesson in awareness. The person who irritates you reveals your attachment to control. The one who inspires you shows you what already lives within you. The soulmate is simply the mirror polished so clearly that you cannot hide from your own reflection. When two people meet in truth, there is no hunger, no chase. There is only resonance, two energies vibrating at the same calm frequency. From this stillness, love becomes an act of awareness, not possession. The Shaolin masters say that the purpose of union is not comfort but awakening. Sometimes, the one meant for you will challenge your peace until you discover that peace cannot be taken away. Sometimes they will disappear, so you may remember that wholeness was never lost. To meet your soulmate is to meet yourself in another form, your fears, your strengths, your forgotten light. And when you truly see them, you realize that love was never about finding the missing piece, but recognizing that the circle was always complete. The mirror only helped you see what was already whole. There are moments when life grows silent enough for truth to speak. Not in thunder or visions, but in the still rhythm of your own breath. Many wait for signs from the heavens, yet the real revelation does not descend from above, it rises quietly from within. In the old Shaolin temples, monks practiced a discipline known as Ting, the art of deep listening. It is not hearing with the ears, but sensing with the whole body. They would sit in silence until even the sound of their heartbeat became a teacher. In that state, understanding no longer needed words. The message of the divine became clear through presence alone. True revelation requires the courage to stop running from your own mind. The noise you hear each day, the constant analysis, comparison, the voices of fear are like waves that blur the reflection on still water. When those waves settle through practice and patience, the surface clears, and what lies beneath becomes visible. That is how angels truly speak, through awareness, through peace, through the space between thoughts. Inner clarity is not achieved once and kept forever. It is a discipline, a return to stillness again and again. A Shaolin master once said, "The world does not need to become quiet for you to find peace. You must become quiet in the midst of the world." When your breath slows, your energy aligns, and your heart softens, The answers that once felt distant reveal themselves. You begin to realize that revelation was never hidden, only drowned beneath the noise. In the silence of your being, the message unfolds naturally. Guidance has always been present, waiting for you to listen deeply enough to hear it. In every temple, there is a mirror kept spotless by daily care. It is never allowed to gather dust, for its purpose is reflection. The heart, too, is a mirror, yet most people let it grow dim with fear, judgment, and longing. They wonder why divine messages seem distant, unaware that it is not the heavens that have turned away, but their own reflection that has grown unclear. Ancient Shaolin masters taught that the heart is the center of perception, not the mind. The mind collects information. The heart recognizes truth. When fear enters, it clouds the mirror, distorting what is real into what is imagined. A frightened heart sees shadows and calls them signs, but a heart that is still and open becomes a pure surface, and in that clarity, even the faintest whisper of guidance becomes visible. Discipline of the heart begins with honesty. Each emotion, whether love or anger, must be acknowledged without attachment. The monks would breathe slowly, letting every feeling pass through like clouds drifting over a mountain. They knew that nothing needs to be forced. Clarity returns when resistance fades. When your heart regains its stillness, you start to feel rather than think. The message you seek, the name, the direction, the connection, begins to echo softly, not in words, but in a vibration that feels undeniably real. It is the quiet certainty that you are aligned, that something sacred is moving through you. The mirror of the heart does not show you what you want to see. It reveals what is true, and truth is always simple. When you cleanse it through awareness, compassion, and presence, the reflection becomes radiant. And in that pure reflection, the divine speaks clearly once more. There is an old teaching in Shaolin that every energy carries its own weight, its own song. Nothing exists in isolation. Every thought, every action, every quiet intention vibrates outward, touching the world like ripples on water. The law of resonance is simple. You do not attract what you desire. You attract what you have become. A young disciple once asked the master, "How will I know the one meant for me?" The master did not point to the future. Instead, he said, "First, become the soul who can meet them. Raise your own frequency. Purify your mind. Strengthen your heart, and your reflection will call theirs." Raising your frequency is not about chasing pleasure or avoiding pain. It is a discipline of presence. The monks would wake before dawn, performing each movement with exact attention, every step measured, every breath conscious. This daily alignment was not only physical mastery, it was cultivation of an energy that resonates with truth. Kindness, patience, and integrity became vibrations the world could recognize. When you embody this inner mastery, the world begins to respond. People, opportunities, and even moments of clarity appear, drawn not by force, but by harmony. The soul that is meant to meet you senses your vibration long before your eyes ever meet theirs. Resonance is subtle. It does not demand, it invites, it does not manipulate, it reflects. The Shaolin Way teaches that if your energy is chaotic, you will attract chaos. If it is calm, disciplined, and open, what arrives will mirror that purity. Every encounter becomes a teacher, every connection a reflection of your inner state. Through patience, mindful presence, and disciplined awareness, you become a living signal, naturally aligned with the life, the love, and the souls you are ready to meet. The universe responds not to longing, but to readiness. In the quiet halls of a Shaolin monastery, a novice once grew restless. He watched the older monks move with precision, strike with power, and yet spent hours in stillness. Frustrated, he asked, "Why do we sit so long and do so little?" The master looked at him calmly and said, "Waiting is not doing nothing, it is preparation." True waiting is a form of discipline. It is not filled with anxiety or longing, but with attentive presence. A monk does not strike until the moment is perfect. Not too soon, not too late. Every motion, every breath, every thought is measured and ready. So too must the heart learn patience. The search for connection often comes with tension, pushing, and grasping. yet the energy of pursuit disturbs the very field you hope to attract. When the mind relaxes, when the heart softens, a natural alignment occurs. Stillness becomes a signal, clarity over confusion, readiness over need. Waiting teaches awareness. Each moment spent in calm observation strengthens the soul. It reveals desires that are true and separates them from impulses that are fleeting. A heart that learns to wait also learns to recognize the signals that matter, to sense the subtle arrival of what is meant for it. The path of mastery is not hurried. Just as a bamboo takes decades to grow straight and strong, so does the soul develop in silence. Waiting is the training ground where patience, resilience, and discernment grow. When the time is right, the one meant for you will appear. Not because you forced the encounter, but because you became still enough, disciplined enough, and present enough to receive. Waiting is not emptiness, it is the cultivation of readiness, the quiet art of becoming a vessel for what is truly aligned with your soul. In the heart of the Shaolin monastery, a student struggled to reconcile his intentions with his actions. He would bow deeply in the morning, yet speak hastily by midday. He would meditate on compassion, yet react with impatience when challenged. The master observed silently and finally said, "Your spirit moves like water in a broken vessel. True flow requires alignment." Inner alignment is the harmony of thought, word, and deed. When the mind seeks truth, but the body acts in contradiction, energy scatters. When speech betrays feeling or action opposes intention, the soul becomes fragmented. Discipline is required to bring these pieces together. Each moment of awareness, each deliberate choice, smooths the currents within, like polishing a mirror until it reflects clearly. Mindfulness is not merely stillness, it is movement in coherence. The monks practiced every gesture with intention, walking, breathing, striking, so that energy flows seamlessly. This is the same principle in life. When your actions, your words, and your intentions move as one, your presence resonates beyond your awareness. It becomes a signal to the universe, an energy that attracts what is in harmony with your own vibration. Divine timing is not arbitrary, it responds to alignment, not desire. The more your inner world reflects truth, the more your outer world mirrors that clarity. People, circumstances, and opportunities begin to fall into place without force, as if the universe itself recognizes the readiness of your spirit. True mastery lies in patience and consistency. Every small act of honesty, every moment of reflection, every choice to act from awareness strengthens the alignment within. And when your inner and outer worlds move in unison, life flows effortlessly, and the connections, the people, and the experiences meant for you arrive naturally at the precise moment when your spirit is ready to receive. There is a shadow that follows every heart in search of connection. It is quiet at first, appearing as longing, as hope, as curiosity. But if left unchecked, it grows into craving, the desire to possess, to control, to demand recognition. The Shaolin masters call this shadow the veil of attachment. It clouds perception, distorts clarity, and binds the spirit to illusion. A young disciple once asked, "How will I find the one meant for me if I do not seek?" The master replied, "First, release the need to find. Only then will what is meant appear of its own accord." Desire in its purest form can inspire growth, yet when it clings too tightly, it becomes a chain. The heart's shadow feeds on urgency and expectation, keeping the seeker blind to what already exists. Shaolin practice trains the mind to observe without grasping. Meditation, disciplined movement, and breath awareness teach the soul to meet desire with equanimity. The craving to possess dissolves, replaced by calm receptivity. When the heart releases its grip, the soul learns patience. It begins to see connections not as trophies, but as reflections of its own readiness. Only when the mind rests, free from need, does revelation arrive. The name, the person, the insight, whatever has been sought in longing, appears not as a prize, but as a natural recognition. It is a gift of clarity, untainted by expectation, visible only to the calm, disciplined heart. Mastery is measured not by acquisition but by surrender. To face the shadow is to embrace the discipline of letting go. In that space of openness, the veil lifts and what was hidden is finally revealed. The heart that once chased now simply waits, and in that waiting, it sees all that it needs. In the quiet courtyards of the Shaolin temple, monks would bow to one another not only in respect, but as an expression of disciplined care. They understood that love is not something to chase or claim, but a practice, a way of being. It grows through awareness, through small acts of kindness, through the consistent alignment of thought, word, and action. A young student once asked, "How will I know when true love comes?" The master did not answer with a name or a vision. Instead, he said, "Practice love now, in every breath, in every gesture. When your energy carries it, the soul that resonates with yours will find it." The lesson was clear. Love is not discovered externally. It emerges from the cultivation of the heart. Every act of compassion, every moment of patience, every choice to respond with understanding rather than reaction adds to the flow of energy around you. Like water filling a vessel, this energy cannot be forced. It expands naturally, touching the lives of those around you. The one who is meant to meet you does not need to search. They feel the vibration of readiness, the calm, disciplined warmth of a heart aligned with truth. Shaolin masters teach that love is inseparable from mastery. A heart disciplined through mindfulness, tempered by self-awareness, and guided by integrity radiates a quiet power. It is a power that calls without demanding, that attracts without clinging. In this way, love becomes practice. Each day, each moment you water the inner garden, and when the soul meant for you appears, recognition is instant. Not because of ceremony or chance, but because the energy has been cultivated long enough to allow harmony to meet harmony, naturally, effortlessly, and with profound clarity. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when the search quiets, when the restless longing fades into stillness. It is not the arrival of a person or a sign that defines this moment, but the transformation within. The angel's message is symbolic, a reflection of the readiness that has been cultivated over time through discipline, awareness, and patience. In the ancient Shaolin texts, it is written that the world does not present a gift to those unprepared. The heart must become still, the mind clear, the spirit aligned. Only then can the subtle currents of life reveal what has been waiting all along. The revelation is not a sudden shock. It is a gentle recognition, a remembering of what was always true. A young disciple once struggled, looking outward for guidance, for answers, for connection. The master said, "Do not seek become. When your energy is whole, what is meant for you will come to you as naturally as the river meets the sea." The lesson was simple yet profound. The moment of revelation is born from inner mastery, not from chasing or grasping. When the heart reaches this state, the so-called name appears, not as an unknown, not as a surprise, but as remembrance. The soul recognizes it instantly because it has been prepared to receive. All the lessons of stillness, patience, and alignment converge into this clarity. This is the way of the masters. The seeker becomes the signal. The one who was once sought is found through resonance, through readiness, through the cultivated presence of a heart that has trained itself to see clearly. In that quiet moment, the divine does not speak loudly, it whispers. And in that whisper, the truth is known. October 19th is not a day of fate, but a reminder of the readiness already within you. Every moment of stillness, every breath taken with awareness, and every choice made with discipline brings you closer to alignment with the rhythm of the universe. The soul you are meant to meet is not discovered through force or searching. It is recognized through presence, through the calm clarity of a heart trained in mindfulness and honesty. The name you seek is already written within, waiting for the quiet space to be seen. The angels do not deliver it. They simply guide you to remember what you have always known. Carry this awareness into your daily life. Pause before reacting, speak with truth, act with intention, and nurture the energy you wish to attract. In doing so, every connection, every encounter, and every moment unfolds naturally in perfect harmony with your path. Let this lesson be a gentle reminder that love, clarity, and connection are cultivated from within. The universe responds not to longing, but to readiness. If this message has touched your spirit, Take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire, where we explore ancient wisdom, inner mastery, and the quiet power of presence. May your heart remain calm, your mind clear, and your soul open to all that is meant to flow to you.